Hi, and we're back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The TAKful Creator here. Okay, let's get started. May God the Creator bless us. May God the Redeemer heal us. May God the Holy Spirit enlighten us. Give us eyes to see, ears to hear, and hands to do the work of God. Feet to walk the path of justice, and mouths to preach the good news. May the angel of peace, prosperity, love, abundance, guidance, grace, and mercy watch over us. And lead us to the reign of God. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Okay, welcome, 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 newcomers. Okay, if you didn't know, this reading is specifically about our Tauruses. All right, so we're tapping into a general Taurus reading. Okay, these are our descriptive cards here, so we can kind of get more of a platform of what kind of energy, right, this Taurus is actually showing up as. Okay, so this Taurus, their heart chakra is activated, which is a beautiful thing. Okay, and I guess we're going to get into why their heart chakra is activated. We have a bit of rose quartz here, which is, you know, tempering the energy, I guess, to highlight this heart chakra activation. And just note that it's in a heart. It's in the shape of a heart too, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so we also have some kind of extroverted insider. So what does that mean? Well, they are generally open, outspoken, enthusiastic, the life of the party, only if their purpose incorporates it. Okay, so this Taurus might be more like a hermit. They don't really like to go out very often, but when they do go out, they're sociable. Their personality is very outgoing, magnetic, if you will. But again, it's only for and to those energies that help the Taurus in their overall purpose. Okay, this Taurus is also slim thick, or just slim and a bit curvy. That's what we can get by this card. Okay, they may not have much of a buttocks, because I'm getting the straight back vibe here, and you know, people like to come for me like that all the time. Okay, it's easier to do things when you have less booty. Just keep that in mind. All right, walking alone is much easier when you don't have a booty. Okay, trust me on that. All right, this person also has body tats. Now, they can be natural body tattoos, or they can be artificial body tattoos. What does it mean to have an artificial body tattoo? Well, you go to an artist. They take ink and the needle pen, and they draw something on you, or sketch something on you, write a quote, whatever. Confirmation, that would be considered an artificial tattoo. If we're talking about a natural tattoo, we can say it's kind of like a war scar. So let's say you scraped your knee and the wound healed. Now you have like a bit of a discolored mark. Okay, I have a few on my hands if you want to take a gander. Okay, these are called body tattoos, also war scars. They're just stories that your body tells of your life experiences. Okay, so again, if this Taurus doesn't have physical tattoos, they have a lot of spiritual tattoos, which means the lessons that they've learned in this lifetime can be seen at least by some of the abrasions or healed abrasions on their skin. Okay, so this Taurus also might be a gun owner, or they're a gun enthusiast. It doesn't mean like they have guns and they like to go out and shoot them up. Like, it really means like maybe they play games that have guns. They like to watch movies that have a lot of guns in it. Maybe they have extensive knowledge on guns, or the laws that surround guns, since they're an enthusiast. Okay, this energy is pretty modest. Okay, and I'm guessing they're connected to Russia in some way. So either their name, their ethnicity, or culture. They like certain foods, they like movies, or they like kind of the environment that Russia elicits. Okay, and this energy is pretty bare skin, so they don't have a lot of body hair. Not necessarily a bad thing. They could get waxed, or you know, maybe they just are part of a genetic bloodline that doesn't have a lot of body hair. Okay, so let's just talk to the divine for a second. Hi, divine. Can you show me no? Of course you can. Can you show me yes? That we're on the right track? And maybe we need a double back. Let's double back, baby. Double back, double back, double back. Alrighty. So we're noting that this Taurus has some kind of extensive information on the body, which is probably why they're slim. The Russian culture, things that have to deal with Russian Russians. I also see Czech here, but I'm getting more like Russian holidays, if that calls out to you in any way. Okay, this person is really modest and does their best to be inexplicit. So maybe because they're so slim, they wear baggy clothes, and it makes them look a little bit more slim than what they are. Or they're maybe a naturalist. That card didn't come out yet, but maybe they're a naturalist, and so they pay a lot of attention to what they ingest, because symbolically it's also about, you know, energy transference. So the more crap you eat, the more crap you're gonna crap out, right? It's gonna go through your pores. It's in your attitude. And if she's slim, or if he's slim, it might attach to their body in a way that, you know, isn't ideal. Okay, so we have a bit more cards here to get into the general description. They have long hair. They're Latino or Latina American, and there's something about their North Node. Now, this was a bit of more, this was more of a descriptive card, but you see how this is separated? I'm getting more that this needs to be looked into. So while we know the general idea of what this Taurus is, this Taurus energy, or who this Taurus energy is, rather, we need to understand why we're brought here today in this general Taurus reading. Okay, so I want to thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscribes. You're also amazing for your comments. The energetic compliance, the energetic support that I get from you all is just, it's beautiful, and I really appreciate it. If you would like to know more about me or want more information from me, I do personals. You can check the description below, or you can leave a comment, and I'll do my best to contact you that way. Okay, via comment, because hey, we're not secretive out here. If you choose to be secretive, we have measures for that, but hey, let the world know that you are on your spiritual journey and you're doing everything possible for you to be in alignment with the divine. Okay, there's nothing embarrassing about that. Okay, so now that we have this North Node here, let's get into some general cards to figure out the storyline behind this North Node. So I was literally called to use Under the Roses deck, so we can tell that this North Node has something to do, or everything to do, with relationships. Okay, so it could be a partnership, it could be a business relationship, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be familial. I've been sensing a lot of readings lately have been, you know, between guardians or parents, authoritative figures, and children. Specifically, now that could be a teacher-child dynamic, that could be, again, a mother or a son, daughters, father dynamic, or it could be like aunts, grandparents. I've been getting a lot of the elderly showing up in the readings lately. So far nothing's coming out with the Under the Roses deck. Oh, it's because they always like me to finish. Respect. Okay, so someone's not using their personal power, or their personal power is becoming a little bit too aggressive for others to, for others to follow in a way that, like, earns and warrants respect. Okay, so this overbearingness kind of needs to be turned on its head, because it's turning other people on its head. Okay, so it's kind of, there's a regressive activity that's with this, you know, being protective over yours, being protective over what you think is yours, or just being protective over the collective in general, right? You have to kind of cut this out and understand why. That's where the seek truth is, this 10 up here. You have to understand why there's times where you're supposed to be, you know, aggressive and in people's face, and then there's other times where you need to be a little bit more relaxed and laid back. But it's your lack of understanding that is prohibiting you from nurturing this North Node of yours. Okay, so what I'm sensing more with this journal is not necessarily like that you're keeping secrets, but you are withholding information. So the information you are sharing may not be ideal for the people who are listening, right? And it's all about you kind of having that self-sufficiency, having the ability to see on your own, is your experimentation working. If the information you are sharing with a certain person or people isn't being understood or grasped, you have to remove yourself, okay? Because what the universe is telling you in the simplest or the easiest sense is that these are not your people. This is not your alignment. This is not your frequency, okay? Now you can stoop or you can match frequency, but what you're doing is you are reversing on this one-way path to your purpose, and that's what you don't want to do, okay? No reversing on a one-way. So because you are withholding this information, right, you're not necessarily putting 2 to 2 together, right? Like, you're so protective, you're so protective, you're so protective, but how you're protecting is hurting the person you're protecting. How you're protecting is hurting the project you may be protecting, or the idea you're protecting, okay? The information you're protecting might be hurting those that you are also protecting. That's the issue. That's where this lack of luck is coming into play. Now, this lack of luck is to thrust you into discernment, to thrust you into intuition, to thrust you into all of these non-tangible skills that will propel you with your personal relationships, business relationships, whatever relationships you are focused on in this moment, okay? Everything is going to work out for its highest good. There's going to be so many successes, the abundance and everything, because you're doing the right things. So because you're doing the right actions, there's going to be a right reaction, and that right reaction is going to be blissful for you. But in order for it to be blissful, you have to see what information you're gatekeeping in a way that is causing a lack of luck instead of grotesque luck, to the point where everyone else is jealous of your luck, and because they only see the success. But the success is only after all of this overshadowing energy, okay? And we that's the energy we don't want, okay? So for our last 3 cards, we're seeing that this Taurus is learning this life lesson because of a significant male, okay? So it's not negating. This Taurus can also be a significant male, but in this sense, it's a youthful significant male. I'm not really getting immature. I'm not really getting karmic. I'm just getting youthful. So because you're so young, there are lessons that you have to learn on your way in order to mature you, okay? It's part of it. No one's going to be like, oh, you're immature and you're bad for that, when you are like 10 to 15 to 25 and you're meant to learn all these lessons in your youth to propel you in your future as an adult, or a big adult, as some of my family members like to say, because there's little adults and then there's big adults. In order for you to be a big adult, you have to mature from your little adult stages, right? Your little adult experiences. So what do we have to do, right? If we are this Taurus and we are in this Taurus energy, what do we have to do in order to remain positive in our purpose and our North Node, okay? Well, you have to see that there is an energy here that is on its path to self-discovery, right? So what happens when you are discovering you as a person? You're not really paying attention to everyone else around you, right? If anything, you're thinking of them as a reflection of yourself. So in this sense, as a gentleman, right, quote unquote, you're still paying attention to those that are around you, making sure that they see you in a higher light, but you're really doing things in a selfish way. You're doing things for your benefit. You're doing things that only may interest you in the moment when you have energy, instead of, you know, perhaps doing things that you don't have energy for, but it's necessary for someone else around you. In essence, that's how you give to the collective. But this energy here is more focused on kind of like nitpicking, right? It's, I'm only going to engage the collective when I need something from them. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I'm only going to speak to my partner when I need my needs met. Or I'm only going to speak to my parents when I need money, or I need to go somewhere and they can drive me around. Or I'm only going to speak to my boss when I want to dazzle him or her, or, you know, put my best foot forward type of thing. Realize in all these cases, it's specifically for your image, ego, pride, whatever you want to attach to that. It's not necessarily for the people around you, right? How are your parents benefiting? Okay, how's your boss benefiting? Okay, realize the benefit of all these other people is imbalanced with the benefit that you're receiving. Okay, that's why we can say it's a bit more of a selfish act. Again, based on your age range, you're young, you're a bit more youthful, so this is your life lesson to see that you're nitpicking too much. You are taking too much from other people without embellishing or gratifying their life in any way. Maybe you're not offering enough appreciation or gratitude. Why do I say this? Because with this mice card, you know, a mouse, you put a piece of cheese out, they're not going to stop and give you a high five and thank you. But a dog, if you put food out, they'll be able to kind of give you a bit more emotional support. So we don't have the dog here speaking on loyalty and speaking on, well, if you do something for me, at least you'll be able to give me something non-tangible back. We're getting a mouse that can't even give energetic currency at all. So a mouse can't protect your house from anything. A mouse is not going to do anything but procreate, right? If you have crumbs in your house, yeah, the crumbs would be up, but at the expense of having more animals or rodents in your place, right? They don't offer equal or more benefit to any species, including themselves, for the capacity that they are able to give. Okay, so what relationships is this person around, is this person nurturing, that is causing them to show up in this energy, right? And because you as this Taurus is in this energy, you're seeming what? Like you're in frequency, like you're in alignment. There's some contingency there. That's the issue, because this person is like a mouse, you're around them, now it seems like you're like a mouse. It's taken away from your ability to be social. Yeah, Tauruses like to, you know, be in their hermit mode, their Hierophant mode, where it's more about, you know, self-care without bothering other people, right? Not at the expense of others. Well, when you're finished with your self-care, you want to go out there and, you know, experience the social nature of life. It's being taken away from you. Even though you're doing everything right. You're doing all that you're supposed to on your alignment. You're learning your lessons to increase your maturity. You're learning your skills so that you can teach or instruct or assist other people with said skill set. That's how you help the collective. You're doing everything you're supposed to do, except letting energies that are around you, that are in your social circle, know that their behavior is not becoming of what you see yourself as. That's also your life lesson. That's also a way for you to mature, is for you to hold other people at a standard you hold yourself at, or at a standard people hold you at. That's the collective, what is it called? What is it like when you watch like the other kids in your family? You're like a babysitter, but you're not like a babysitter. It's like, well, I'm sure you know what I'm speaking on. The words are escaping me, and we know why. So we're not even going to get into that. We'll just jump back into the reading and speak about this North Node. So we know that your North Node is all about embellishing yourself so that you can embellish those around you. All right, your North Node is not necessarily going to a 9-to-5. Your North Node is not raising a family. Your North Node is seeing the benefit you hold in life, how you need to progress it, and how you can use it to assist, aid, again, teach other people around you, so that we can all together, that's what collective means, grow and ascend. Okay? But you're gatekeeping. What is this information that you're gatekeeping? Something about the police and how loyal you are. Okay, something about the police, maybe needing lavender, needing a calm night. See, I said calm night before I even saw evening or night fall out. That's awesome. Calm night on a Thursday. Something having to do with your side hustle, the phone or cell, SUV or truck. Devil energy is returned to sender from the elderly. And we spoke about the elderly, you know, as I said, I was getting that. There's some kind of shark vibe. Teachers. So what does that mean? Well, sharks, when they smell blood, they attack. When they don't smell blood, I wouldn't say that, you know, there's no risk there, there's no threat, but they're a lot more docile. Okay, so the energy of a shark is very similar to the police falling out with lavender. It's like when there's no red, right? Lavender is a symbol of calmness, platitude, a regality, in an immature sense, but still, you know, it's an upright type of color, very serene. when there's nothing happening. But once something happens, that's when you need to call the police. That's when, you know, the threat has to be taken. And I guess it's the same way with the sharks, right? If you were injured in a shark pool, just know that you're food. But if you're not, and you're just swimming around with the sharks and they see that you are able-bodied, there's no issue. So why do we have this next to our elderly card? Maybe you're viewing the elderly as the same, like all older people are kind of insignificant, or because they're so near death, is the threat of their life. Or maybe there's no threat because they're so much older, right? And unless there's some kind of injury, unless there's some kind of ailment, that's the only time that, you know, they're regarded. I feel like we need to get a few more cards because that's such a negative message. There's going to be some kind of hearing in court, and if you're having any digestive issues or blockages, it's because your chakra alignment is off. So pay attention to your solar plexus work. And even though this is astonishing news that, you know, there might be a hearing in court, there actually might be a police involved with some kind of teacher. You know, I randomly had said this when we were talking about what kind of energy does a Taurus show up as. And then now look. Okay, we need to strategize and recollect. Especially if you have anything to do with the police. Yeah, that's definitely going to be your number one. Strategize and reconnect. Recollect. There's no mistakes, so there's a hearing in court about someone's side hustle. Let's say a side hustle is a new lucrative business that doesn't have much business success. It just seems like a lucrative business because there's an LLC, there's loans and stuff taken out. I had a reading that was about like tax fraud. I had another reading that was about kind of loan fraud. And now maybe this is the continuation of those readings, talking about like this is what the cops found, that your side hustle is going to accrue you a hearing in court. Okay, so you're gonna have to feel deeply about this overnight. And here we have this Thursday vibe back up. So right now it's Thursday, right? So we had a Thursday night. Someone wants a very calm and chill night, but in actuality it's not going to be that way. Actuality is my word. You could say actually, but I like in actuality. It's been something I said since I was a kid, and I never let anyone correct me, so don't correct me now. Anyway, this evergreen nature is definitely like putting on your brave face, being the strength through a storm, being the strength through like a dead season. So if you're having a hearing in court about a side hustle that may have been really lucrative, financially you might have to be set aback a bit. You know, you can't really live in the way that you were living financially. So you kind of, it's a dead season for you. That's what it symbolizes. So you kind of have to move through that, right? So you might be a teacher or educator of sharks, and now that's the most dangerous job to have, because again, they smell your blood. It doesn't matter that you're their teacher, they're going to feast, type of thing. Okay, and this could definitely be the energy of most elderly people. It's like they're your friend if they're benefiting off of you, but the second they can't benefit off of you anymore, now you are like the dust beneath their shoes. And that's just the nicest way I'm gonna put it. But just know that this energy that they send to you is returned back to them. Now this can show up in a way that damages or alters an SUV or truck. I know I had to deal with that in the last month alone. That's why we're having the Backyard Beat instead of Car Chronicles, which is so fun for me. I feel so free and relaxed doing this. I hope you can hear my sarcasm. Anyway, just know that you're going to hear some kind of message, or you're going to receive this information via phone. I'm not really getting a phone call unless it's like via voicemail, so check your voicemail, email, text. And even though you want a very calm night, you're going to maybe need to smell some lavender, put on a candle or something like that, because this evening or night may involve the police in some kind of regard. Okay? So I wish us all the best. I'll see you soon. Until the next.